Hey, I'm back. Okay, so before I talk about anything in this video that I really want to talk about, a few quick things. One, it's like past 3:30 in the morning. Two, my hair is a bit of a wreck, but my face does have a little bit of psoriasis still. As I don't know if you can tell by the pink rashes all over my face, but at least I took a shower yesterday because I haven't done that in a long time. Now it's starting to clear up, so I don't want to look weird and look like it's all broken up or whatever before I do my movie review. So I guess that's taken care of. And third, I don't know if you can tell right now, but right now, what you're looking at in this very room would be my official studio. So therefore, this is not only the place where I will be recording my movie reviews, but it's also going to be where my office would be for the editing. So just to give you a bit of a small tour, since it's not really a big room per se, and it's like literally downstairs in the basement. This here will be my little office where I have my chair, my laptop, and also my little computer desk, which by the way, my grandma and I actually built together like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Also, that tripod, which I don't know if you remember from one of my old vlogs, but from months ago, I think back in May or June or something, that tripod is actually the first one that my grandma and I bought from a guy from Craigslist in Minneapolis. But because I didn't really need a digital camera for my movie reviews and the fact that I just need to use a tripod for my iPhone, which is the one I'm holding up right now, I actually don't need that tripod. So I might just probably put it away in storage or something. And that there would just be my closet door, whatever, but the doors are, I don't know how you put this, they are not in good condition, but, oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention this, but my grandma kind of did that for me. She might mispronounce my first name, but whatever. I didn't ask her to do this, but again, she only did that just so the maintenance would not be suspicious of, about the closets being broken, because this is like over a year ago or so when my sister and her ex-boyfriend used to live with us, and they kind of punched holes in these closets before. Although you can't tell, but between those two doors, she's actually trying to use those signs to cover up the hole so they don't find out that there are damages to it. You know what I mean? You don't want to have a very bad reputation when it comes to the condition of your house, whatever. So anyways, I don't want to talk too much about my little studio. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an inside look of what the studio's like and how we already got the whole thing completed. All thanks to my aunt's you could say my aunt's boyfriend. They haven't got engaged yet, but he does like guitar lessons and he does like construction, or no, sorry, he does repair. That's what he does. So the good news is, like a week or two, he did came here and fix up my studio for me and took this recliner down when Grant and I were gone one time. So I do thank him for that. Also, now that I've talked about what's been going on and how I got my studio completed, I don't want to talk too much just because I think I've been through a lot lately this summer. Sorry, I thought I was gonna belch. But I'll tell you this. Now, I don't know if any of you have remembered from my previous vlog, like, the one that lasted for more than an hour. I don't know if you remember when I said if I was going to keep my promise to, try to get my movie review series started in August. If any of you remember that. Well, like I said, I don't like making promises. Just because I don't believe in breaking promises, just because once you set your word, then you set your word. And you know I am. That's just my own personal standards, because I don't like making false claims about things that don't really happen when you're serious about something. But anyways, I just thought you should know that I guess I wish I never made that promise. Maybe some of you don't even really care about that, because I know my grandma have told me that no one and whoever watches my videos are going to care about that. Because I don't know, maybe you might be more understanding, maybe you're too busy yourself, just as much as I've been busy lately. But I guess whatever the case, I may have not kept the promise of getting the movie review started in August or by the end of it, because I did mention I need to decide whether or not I should continue with college. Well, actually, I was going to continue with college, but I don't know if I was going to enroll in taking any courses this year. Which, by the way, I finally did took one course this year instead of a bunch. So the good news is I'm not going to take like a bunch of classes like I did in my last term. So for this semester at my community college, I'm going to be taking what they call music in film, TV, and gaming. So basically, that's just a little general course where you learn how to. So it's just how you say it. It's just you analyzing and studying how the sounds of music emotionally affects the audience through movies or TV shows or video games, and how it has an effect on us as an audience and all that kind of stuff. So it's a really interesting class, and I only chose that for this year just simply because, for one thing, most of my other courses, like taking my paint class, that's already full, so I couldn't take it this semester. And also, according to my trio advisor, I was told that I still need to take one general class, and instead of just taking just an art class, because every student is required to have a general course. So for now, the music course is the only general course I'm taking right now. And also because I want to be less stressed out and try to balance between my assignments from college and then trying to balance my work here at my house. You know what I mean? Because you need to have some type of balance and make sure that your time management doesn't conflict with another. So I just want to be smart about it this time and not overwhelm myself like I did before. But anyways, not to get off topic here. Like I was saying, I may not have kept that promise about doing it in August. But however, at least I was being honest with it, because the truth is I wasn't like lying about it. I wasn't like even making excuses for that matter, because I mean, initially, I really was going to keep that promise, but the thing is, it took much longer than it should be. And now let me just try to explain it in this way. I did try to get my script finished because, see, like right after I was done recording from my last fail vlog from about a month ago, so for like, I don't know, for like about a half a month or so, I've been working on my very first script to my first movie review on the Emoji Movie. For one thing, it took me a couple of weeks or so for me to actually review the movie on my phone through a bootleg streaming website, because it's hard to find a movie to watch it for free. I mean, sure, there's Netflix, but I don't want to keep on like pausing and playing a movie on my grandma's flat screen TV, because she's the only one who has Netflix, and none of our TVs in our house have any of that. So I think it'd just be easier if I just watch it from my phone, because that's how I first saw the movie a couple years ago. So you can imagine having to pause and play the movie with each scene. It took me way, way longer for me to do the script, because I actually had to write it on my notes app the whole entire time. It was not easy, because I can tell you that not only did I try to break down the scenes, but I've also tried to come up with, with what kind of jokes I want to put in there. But more importantly, whether or not, if I'm not repeating myself, or like, let's say if I'm not missing any piece of information, like from a previous scene, and then I want to remind that with the audience afterwards. You know what I mean? So I don't end up like throwing out a piece of information and then not having to bring it up afterwards, try to put more context to something. So either way, I had to take care of some of that stuff by reviewing and then reviewing things again for 2 or 3 times in a row. But I do know that it isn't just the fact that it took me longer to review the whole entire freaking movie, but also because it was summer, right? Like I said before, there was a lot of plans going on, so it turns out I had to leave. So here's the thing, this was weeks ago, right? In last August, I have been distracted with a lot of family outings, and it's not like I had a choice. For one thing, without going into too much detail because it's not important, I had to go to Iowa for like 5 days to spend time with one of my cousins down there and sleeping over, as well as staying at a hotel in Council Bluffs, I was in Council Bluffs, Iowa, where we stayed at this one hotel for a while.
And then going back to my cousin's house in Kinsley, Iowa again for a while, having to deal with my second cousin, or you could say my cousin's son who is autistic and he's kind of loud, distracted. He's a little wild child. And the fact that there's a lot of animals living in our house, it's kind of hard for me to concentrate to get my work done because there's just so much going on. And then even before I got back to Minnesota, I went to what they called the Minnesota's largest candy store. I believe, I think that's what it's called. So I stopped by there for the first time. I bought a bunch of cool Japanese sweets and all that kind of stuff. I even got myself like a really large gummy snake or whatever. But anyways, not only that, but then I had to go to some kind of a water park, and then went to Valley Fair, which I think that was like a couple weeks ago. So you can imagine I've been distracted with a lot of outings. Oh yeah, and I had to go bowling or whatever, yada yada. And then I was to go see the Angry Birds 2 with my family as well, just because I want to have my thoughts on it. Honestly, I didn't really care about that movie. I thought it was extremely mediocre, but whatever, my opinion. But anyways, now that you know all the factors of why I've been so distracted lately and why it's been so hard for me to get this script done, because why it took me forever, is because I've never done this before. Because even though I took English, like, like in the last term or so, this was so hard. This is so much stressful and way harder than it was when I was in college. Because instead of like writing for like, I don't know, like 10,000 words, so far the script that I completed, I believe is approximately 43,922 words, according to this word counter website I went on to. So that's how big the script is. But so yeah, I assume this might make my first movie review maybe more than 30 minutes. I don't know if it'll last for like an hour or so. I don't know. Never done this before. But if it is long, then I might have to learn the next time how I'll shorten my other future movie reviews down the line. So I don't know how it's gonna look, but I'm still in the middle of getting some stuff done. So now that I've kind of explained why it took me forever to get all this stuff done. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that with me having to get into college for the first time. Sorry, not the first time. Having to get back into college since the last week when when I was trying to get used to my new class, which it's not that hard by the way, because my homework really is just consisted of of just trying to like watch a movie we were assigned it to. Then you take your notes down on your what you call a musical journal. And then you have to like analyze and listen to a few of the songs from a different few scenes from a movie. Then you have to write down like briefly describing the scenes or try to describe in full details of what the music feels like to you. So that's kind of basically what our homework is pretty much based on, along with presentations or whatever. But anyways, without being distracted by any other nitpicky details right now, I just want you to know that a lot has happened, and now that I'm learning how to balance with my personal life and with college and whatnot, as well as getting the house cleaned up for a lot of things, I will say that I have actually got my script completed since I believe it was either Sunday or Monday, but somewhere around those days, I actually got my script completed. But then again, it took me another few days to actually go back and start reading and reviewing all those thousands of words because I knew there were a few typos here and there I needed to correct. Not only that, but then there was also like about a few paragraphs I wanted to include in them because I knew that there was some piece of information I kind of left out in there that I needed to bring up that I think that were important, or it just relates to my previous thoughts from at some like timeline or a time slip in one of the videos, so that I will end up like forgetting to bring up something for the second time. You know what I mean? Like once you bring up something earlier, and if you need to remind the audience to put more context or additional information for that subject, then I need to include that so it doesn't feel left out, if you know what I mean. So either way, I had to go back and do some corrections for a while. I think I got that finished since a couple days ago. But at the same time, I also had to balance and get my first homework completed, which took me a while. But here's the good news. I don't have that much homework to do, so my only homework for me is to like having to watch this really old silent film from 1902 called A Trip to the Moon, which I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but for those who don't know, if you ever recognize like you ever see like the image of the moon and there's a person's face on it with a rocket bullet hitting the eye, which since it's a very iconic image, well, that's the movie I was actually talking about here. So my only assignment is to like watch the movie on YouTube, since it's not a long film from my understanding, and because it's silent, I need to figure out what will be my soundtrack to match with the scenes in the film, so that's not a lot to do. But the good news is, not only do I have one assignment I can work on that won't distract me that much from my job, that I'm getting ready pretty soon, but next week, my professor will be absent for Tuesday and Thursday. So therefore, I don't have no school next week. So that means I'll have plenty of time to get ready for my movie review, if you know what I mean. So either way, if for those who want to know how close I am to getting my movie review started, now that I put more context to explain why it took me forever and how I've been doing lately with getting my job ready, I will tell you this much. Now that the script is finally over, because oh my god, I just couldn't take it anymore, because I feel like I was just like basically I would tell you is I was extremely stressed and impatient because it, oh my god, I will tell you this, if you were to want to do a movie review someday, if you're doing a script, oh my god, you better be sure what your word count is, because if you're not distracted or whatever, it would have been that hard. But if you are, wow, it takes forever to do this fucking script, because seriously, you have no idea how much I want to be done with the script. I will say it's not as stressful as it was with, say, getting my Sony Vegas Pro 16 from over a month ago, but still, this took a very long time, nevertheless. But, so anyways, without further ado, I can say, to be very fair, and without making any promises whatsoever, I would say I might start doing my recording either tomorrow, or sorry, actually, today is tomorrow because it's late at night. So maybe later on today during the afternoon or the evening, or maybe the day after that, like on a Sunday or something, I might start recording on one of those days. And why? You see, like I said in the beginning of this video, my face kind of broke out from rashes due to my psoriasis and whatever. So, again, I feel like I might have to wait for another day or so for my face to clear out. And it's not just that, but also, it's not because of what I look, but it's mostly due to the fact that even though my script may be done, I think there might be one detail I might be missing out at some section or one of the paragraphs in my script. I need to look back over real quick. But it's also because I need to like find any like, I don't know, like images or video clips or audios I needed for my movie review before I start editing. So I want to be sure it looks all correct. Make sure I have all my sources, because since I'm going to get all this stuff off of my phone, I may have to just download it, attach it to my laptop, and get everything downloaded onto my documents. So just to be sure, I have all my materials before I get started. So you could say I'm getting extremely close right now. And so yeah, I am really looking forward to getting this done, because I have been so impatient. Sorry, I mean, I was patient at first, but at least I didn't lose my sanity. But I was getting to a point where I really want to get my video done, because I'm just so excited to just get it done and over with, because I don't want to wait any longer than I should. Because I feel like I'm already ready by this point, except I want to make sure I have a few other items with me before I download on my laptop. So yeah, I think that's one thing I want to mention. Also, it's a bit of a nitpick here, but like I said, my hair is a little messy. But because it's been about a month now since my last video when I got a haircut, I think I might trim my hair a little bit, either tomorrow or something, because My hair is starting to get kind of long, by the way. But, you know what I mean? I don't want to have these bangs get in my eyes every time because it'll distract me. I'll just see whether or not it's going to be an issue tomorrow or not. And if so, then I might trim it up a bit. Also, I did shave at least, but I don't know if I want to go play naked on my face or whatever without a beard. Because, you know what I mean? It's my first fail. I want to look like my natural self. You know what I mean? I just want to look like, you know, like my true identity. Like, let's say, like, I don't want to put crazy colors or styles into my hair. I just want to kind of like just be myself for my first presentation. And then maybe I'll go a little crazy with my own personal styles afterwards. But, you know what I mean? Just start off easier because it's my pilot. I've never done this before. So there's that at least. And by the way, I'm trying to remember anything else I'm not forgetting. So yeah, overall, that's basically the whole situation with my YouTube job and how I'm getting my movie review started since I got the script completed. So try to expect me to get my video recording done tomorrow or Sunday. But then again, I'll tell you that having to do my recording probably won't take forever at least. Although I don't know how long it's going to take for me to do the editing. But more importantly, once I'm done with the editing, I want to be sure whether or not how long it'll take me to do the editing for my own thumbnail for my YouTube channel. So in order for me to do so, I need to either get GIMP or Photoshop. But I want to make sure if it's not too expensive for me to buy Photoshop, because I hear there's something about a trial where you have to buy it, but then you have to do it at a certain amount of days before it's expired for something. So I mean, you know what I mean, right? So I don't like to do free trials because I know there's always money involved, and I don't want to do that. And I hear that GIMP is free. I've used it once, although I never used Photoshop. But I want to know if Photoshop is better than GIMP or if it's GIMP better than Photoshop. I don't know for sure. I try to do some research on this, but regardless, I guess once I'm done with editing my videos, I think I will decide whether or not which software I should use, and then we'll see how long it'll take for me to do that. Because again, whenever I do a type of Photoshop or photo editing on websites or whatever, it doesn't like take me forever to do editing in one day to edit a picture, because I've done something like this before for years now. Although it's haven't been a while since high school when I used to do this. But so yeah, me having to record here in this room won't take forever. It'll take me like about a day, since I'll be cutting and editing my videos anyways regardless. So I won't have to worry about, you know, like messing up my video or doing retakes. If I have to, that's totally fine. Nobody would notice, because that's how every YouTuber will have to do when they edit their movie reviews. I mean, I learned from the best. But either way, so yeah, besides that, I don't know how long it'll take for me to do the editing. It might take me like a day or two. So I just want you to know that I can't guarantee what day I will get my video uploaded. But I would say that since there's no school next week, maybe this is God's way of telling me, hey, I'll give you an extra week so you won't be busy anymore. So you can imagine I got off very easy with my own situation. So now that I won't be distracted with whatever I have to deal with, and there's no other outings going on in my family situation as of right now for this month, I think it is the best to say that I could finally now get all this stuff done and ready. So just try to expect to see my first movie review on the Emoji Movie to get uploaded next week. I can't guarantee you if it'll be on what day specifically. I could estimate it could be either somewhere between let's say somewhere between a Tuesday or a Friday, somewhere in between those days. Again, I'm not sure how long it's going to take. I cannot make promises as of right now, but I am guarantee you that I am getting extremely close to getting everything completed, like I have said from before in my last vlog. Like I said, I have never broken a promise to never get my movie review ready, because I've been doing this whole time, and I can tell you, it has been emotionally and physically drained for me to get all this shit done. And I really just want to just move on and get everything done and over with. So now that I explained my situation with my YouTube channel, I think there's also one little detail. Sorry, a couple of things I want to mention. One little additional detail and another reminder. One detail is, since, like I said about DeviantArt, um, like I said, I'm not sure if I'm gonna take painting 1 or 2 for the next semester. I may have to talk about that with my advisor. I could do both or just one. But if I actually ever do that eventually within the spring semester, I will inform everyone on DeviantArt or Facebook about it. So don't expect me to do any painting for this year. But however, I probably will do just one drawing for this year. I don't know if I'll be doing other drawings. Also, I am focusing on my drawing skills because, as you should know, that I was hoping in the next semester, there is one course I do want to take, and I believe it's something called the AFA Portfolio, which that is a course for students who are seeking an associate fine arts degree. It's called Associate in Fine Arts degree. That's what it's called. So, initially, I wanted to get an AA or Associate an arts degree, but I decided I want to switch from AA to an AFA because it's a better offer than anything else, just in case if I don't get into MCAT or not, because it's still extremely expensive to get into for next year, and I still need to make money for that on Patreon. So, either way, I'm bringing this up because I want you to know that I'm gonna be like practicing on my drawing skills for this fall and winter. Because if I want to like start taking that course, then you need to start like doing your sketches. Because in this course, you'll be doing like sketches on a daily basis. Like on a daily or weekly basis. Then you'll have it in your portfolio, which the name is pretty obvious of itself. And not only that, but you might do other art projects with it. And once you're done with it, you'll have them all displayed like in the art building at Anoka Ramsey Community College. And usually every once a year, they'll do this annual AFA portfolio exhibit where they have all the AFA students who have all their artworks displayed on a wall, like an exhibit. And then they'll have their little info boxes where they describe the bio background of that specific student artist and what they're all about. And then they'll tell them what the artwork is. So, I did been to one of those AFA portfolio exhibits months ago. It was really cool. At least I got to check it out for one of my extra credits to know what it's like. So now that I know what to expect, I'm really looking forward to taking that class someday when spring comes. So yeah, I just want you to know I'm going to go back to drawing later this fall or winter. But since I need to practice, just expect that I might probably upload them onto DeviantArt eventually. But there's one thing I want you to know that, again, I can't confirm whether or not I'll have all my drawings be posted onto DeviantArt because I still need to see how I do well with both my YouTube job here and with college to see how it works with my balance. Because I'm still trying to establish my own standards and what my own personal schedule is going to be like, if you know what I mean. Because, it's one thing to get into a job, but having to create your own job, that's a whole nother story of its own. But either way, without going into any further details, you see, even while I was doing my script from like weeks ago, I think this happened about 5 days after this incident occurred. So about half a week later, while I was still in Iowa doing my business, I had a news announcement that I was told by Animat, which I don't know if you know, but he is a YouTube animation commentator. So he actually broke the news when he mentioned about a very, very famous animator who has been doing this for decades. And he is well known for being the creator of Roger Rabbit. But more importantly, he was well known for creating the longest unfinished masterpiece of an animated film that took him about 3 decades in the making, and that would be The Thief in Copper. That, my friends, would be Richard Williams. He is not only a great teacher, but he is also a great inspirer for me, and he has always been one of my biggest inspirations among other animators I looked up to. In fact, I truly believe, in my opinion, I consider him as an animation god because his skills are far beyond anyone who could ever comprehend of anyone who can try to imitate his type of skills. Because unlike most artists, not only is he a perfectionist, which could be one of his flaws down the line, but it's also because he's known for animating on ones, especially to be elaborate with specific details on the characters and the landscapes and whatnot. So that's why most animators don't really do what he does because he likes to push animation beyond the boundaries to a point where he will make any kind of object look like they're 3D models when really they're actually hand drawn instead of being CG or whatever. Because that's how gifted and brilliant this man really is. But when I heard when he passed away because of cancer, you can say I didn't know how to react because it's bad enough I lost my great grandma back in. It's really hard enough for me to lose my great grandma back in January, and it was bad enough that I lost Steven Hillenburg, who is the creator of SpongeBob SquarePants, because it was a show I used to grow up with as a kid. And especially losing Chester Bennington of Linkin Park from a couple years ago because of suicide. I mean, I've lost so many great people who were a part of my life, and it's been so hard to deal with it. I mean, for me, the final blow was my great grandma and Steven Hillenburg. But when I heard about Richard Williams, I just can't even believe it. I mean, honestly, if I were to ever meet this man someday, I would have asked him if he wanted to complete The Thief and the Cobbler. But I know it never happened. I know from my understanding based on his Twitter accounts, he said this over and over again, that he refuses to work on it anymore because he said he's happy with how this subject called the Academy has said that they've already preserved his film already, even though despite being unfinished. They completed with scraps and whatnot and unfinished pieces of rough animation and whatnot. And I hear that they stored it away and now it's preserved for any historians or famous animators to look them over. So either way, I guess I can respect that because I would have told him if he wanted to continue with it, but if not, I was hoping I could make a petition someday and I would encourage everyone in the world who are animators to get his film completed because I hear that there's only 50% of the movie that is yet to be completed. And I don't think it'll be that hard if we could just do this independently. And I mean like not being affiliated with any kind of major company or studio. Literally just being all independent and just do it in our homes or a regular office or something or some random studio of some sort. And then we just have to left off with the old techniques of what they did back in the 90s, right? Just instead of trying to make it more modernized, let's just go back to the old animation styles of what they did in the 90s. Left out what he did and try to get that complete, at least it looks complete enough to make it look accurate. I was really hoping I was going to ask him, him as a mentor to me if he could help me get it completed and maybe I'll hear his advices. I would have asked him if I were ever to meet the guy someday at a convention or actually talk to him on Twitter or something. Because whatever the case, I would have had the time to ask him these questions. I mean, I'll be willing to take the risk to do the animation for him and actually get thousands or maybe hundreds of animators to volunteer and get involved to sign a petition, whether it's a GoFundMe or whatever, or a Kickstarter or something, and then we'll get his film completed. I would have go through all of that just to make this man have closure. But if it's his wishes, I guess I could just respect that. And also because of the fact that I just realized that he was working on his next feature film, which is supposed to be called Prologue, I believe, which originally was a short film that he created for years, I think, which was shown at the Academy Awards 2015 and was nominated for the Best Short Film. So he was trying to make a feature-length film based on that short film. And I was like, okay, maybe this will be his next alternative to Defeat the Copper. Maybe this will be his biggest legacy to what he could have accomplished long ago in those decades. I would think maybe this will be more of his redemption moment of at least have a second chance before he passes away or something. Because I knew he was in his 80s. I know he wouldn't live too long, but I never knew he had cancer. And because of this, I was shocked. I mean, I didn't know how to even react. I didn't handle it very well. I mean, I don't want to go into too much about my emotions because right now my phone's going to die soon, and I don't want to talk too much about my feelings because you can say I was just devastated. I didn't know how to handle it because I was still on vacation, having a good time. I didn't want to have to be all broken up when I was doing my script and get distracted. So it just kind of happened at the wrong time. And it's not the first time that could ever happen. This happened to me with Steven Hellenberg when I heard a news announcement when someone broke the news when I was on DeviantArt anyways. I mean, we don't expect these things to happen unless we discover them for ourselves at the wrong place at the wrong time. But hey, it's life. It happens. So yeah, I was really upset that he never got his new film completed because I was willing to accept him that he could just move on with his life and start a new project. I mean, I was willing to see his new movie if it were to come out someday in theaters. I would love to see it because it just looks so amazing. It is realistic. It just seems so mind-blowing that anyone who can spend that much time putting so much details to make a human being look so realistic instead of looking like an actual cartoon, it's just beyond belief. It's not even rotoscoping for that matter. I mean, if this were to come out in theaters, this would have earned him rewards if this were to ever happen. And I could imagine this might be the big comeback to bring back 2D animation into the mainstream once again. I would think he would have been a hero. He will save animation once again like he did with Roger Rabbit. I would love to see a day that would have happened, hypothetically speaking. But now that he's gone, I guess that will never happen. Even my grandma asked me, do you think you can actually help continue to make his movie come to life? Do you think you want to carry his legacy by completing the film for him? I was like, no, I cannot. I don't think you understand that nobody will ever be like Richard Williams. Or I don't think there's anyone out there who's just like this guy. Unless I could be wrong. I don't know. In this big world full of billions of people, I don't know. Maybe I could, but I don't know if I actually want to. I don't think it'll even feel the same. And the fact that I saw what this guy can do, I don't think it's even possible, not even for me to do something like that, for that so explicit and perfectionistic. I don't think I can even do that. Because seriously, no one can step up to that kind of standards, not even for me in this case. So basically, I don't think we'll ever see the day the movie will ever be completed unless someone in his family who has the skills like that could do it. Only God knows. But anyways, I'm bringing him up because like I did with Steven Hellenberg like about a year ago, I think I might do another tribute drawing for Richard Williams, but this time I won't be rushed. I will take my time to draw it in his style like I did with SpongeBob about a year ago on DeviantArt. And I hope it'll be a good one at least, because at least I'll have closure for that. But I think my biggest closure for me is not just doing the tribute drawing, but it's also for me to actually probably buy the book someday. So he has a book called The Animator Survival Guide. So I think that's stuff I want to have for my birthday or for Christmas, which is not till December. But Grant thinks I should just buy it online. But whatever the case, I want to see how expensive it is, because I feel like I still need this book in my life regardless. Whether I get into MCAT or not, I still need this book for all sorts of different reasons. So far, I have a Filmmakers for Dummy book I had for about a decade or so. No, it's just been more than a decade, since I say 2006, I think. But either way, I still want to have a book to learn about studying on animation, despite learning about it on YouTube or whatever. So I think that would be a good thing for me to just carry on his legacy when I just buy his book and learn just from the best, and to do a tribute drawing for him to honor him in spirit. But I think more importantly, if I get into animation someday, I probably will try to draw things on ones like he would do. Maybe not in his style, but I'll have my own identity anyways with whatever style I will use. But regardless, I will still carry on his legacy by taking his animation techniques and methods and putting in my own skills, because I've never done things on ones before. But that's definitely something I will be risking to take if I have to. So anyways, now that I got some of that out of the way, Oh wait, there's one thing I forgot to mention. I remember months ago, I think back in spring, I remember that Tom. Wait, I don't think. No, sorry. Oh no, wait, it was back in July. So when I was in Iowa in July on my little vacation trip to visit my relatives, I heard that Tom Kinney, who did the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants, um, I heard that he once visited the Mall of America for this 20th anniversary tribute where you had to have these meet and greets with these voice actors, right? So it was him, and then there was a voice actress for Sandy. I don't know her name, but I remember they both went there at the Mall of America. And I wish I knew about this. So I only heard about this when I was on Facebook, right? So I saw on my news feed that the Mall of America was going to have them come and visit them at their mall. But sadly, though, they're only staying for one day. So I realized it was too late. And I can tell you, I was really devastated. I was just pissed off that I kind of wish if I knew about this then, I probably would have just stayed in Iowa for like about a few days or so. And I would have just went back to Minnesota because if Tom K was supposed to be there on that specific day at the Mall of America, because my family has been there every year anyways, I kind of wish we should have set up our schedule in advance because I would love to just meet with the guy, buy tickets or something, and just meet the guy. I don't care if I had to stay there for a minute. I would have met with the guy, took a photo with him, take pictures with him, chat with him, and probably do some voice acting because he really has been a part of my childhood, and I really feel like this would truly give me closure about Steven Hillenburg, just to meet with someone who brought the legend into animation with the guy who brought the voice of SpongeBob in the first place. Because I don't know if you know this, but I grew up with SpongeBob since I was 5 years old when it came out. I loved it so much that I would record them on my VHS tapes in the early 2000s before the show went downhill, of course, over the years. But the point is, I want to meet him so badly because I thought this would give me closure. Sure, meeting Vic Mignogna from Anime Central from last year ago at my first anime convention in Illinois. I mean, he was a nice guy, and I'm glad I met someone like him, at least, and to get autograph from someone like that. Which, by the way, I did took a fail of that. It's already on Facebook, but I might probably upload it to YouTube someday. But anyways, I'm just saying this. I would have wished I kind of met Tom regardless, anyways. But since there's nothing I can do about it, I guess. Well, I don't know. Maybe I might talk to him on social media if I could, or maybe if he were to say like go to a convention of some sort. I don't care if it's Comic-Con or whatever. If I had to meet this guy at some convention, I would definitely meet with the guy and really chat with him and whatnot because he really was an inspiration in my life as well. And of course, one final detail I need to say this, which is the reminder, like I said a while ago. Again, I'm not going to put too much emphasis onto this like I did with what I said about DeviantArts. With all this explicit additional information I have to give out there. Again, I'm just saying what's on my mind right now, so I don't really have a script. I'm just saying what is on my thoughts and what's in my heart. So I'm just speaking from the soul, really. But before this time runs out, I just want you to know that, like I said, once I get my video uploaded, not only do I encourage you to please subscribe to my channel, add comments onto my own first movie review, and to like it, because I would extremely appreciate if you share your thoughts on what I say about the movie, because I can guarantee you this review is going to probably take more than 30 minutes to actually watch the whole damn thing, because you have no idea how much I struggled to get all this stuff completed for. I'm not just doing it for me, I'm doing this for everyone who is curious to know whether or not I'm going to keep my promise. And I said it before and I'll say it again, I have did what I have to do. And I would never let anyone down because I'm not making excuses for myself. I didn't know this would take forever because I've never done this before. But once I figure out how long this video is going to take for me to upload it, and once I find out what the right time is, I will see if I can break it up from 10 to 30 minutes. I don't know where in between. But I'll try to figure out once I find out how long the video is. So yeah, I'm just trying to say is, once it's uploaded, I still encourage everyone to not just subscribe to me, but to please become my Patreons supporters, and please give me your money on my Patreon accounts, Right now, it's not updated just yet, but once I get the video uploaded, then I will say like update whatever it's on my DeviantArt page, uh, get my goals setting up for how much money I needed for what I need in the future for next year. Because like I said before in my last video, I need money not just to get a car someday or to go to Tokyo for next summer for my ultimate vacation trip for my golden birthday wish, but more importantly for me to get an MCAT for the next fall if I actually want to take film animation someday. Because I mean, this is my future that we're talking about here, and I can't do this on my own without all of your support and without your help. So we need to make this into a possibility. Again, I'm always willing to listen to everyone's thoughts. I will give something for your return because I don't know what type of exclusive items I will give out on Patreon, but whatever it is, whether it's a drawing or whatever, I'll be fair with the prices, and we'll just hope that I can get something in return for everyone so I can earn something out of it. So yeah, basically I would appreciate for everyone to at least donate money to my Patreon account because that's the only way for my job to have any kind of ad revenue, because I can't get it off of YouTube because I don't trust YouTube with my money. Again, this is my first job and I don't want to be left disappointed and feel like I did all this for nothing because I put too much of my heart and soul and all my emotions and thoughts into all of this to make this possible. Anyways, I think I better get back to heading back to sleeping pretty soon because I've been up pretty much all night dealing with insomnia because I'm trying to recover from, from actually staying up all night getting my script finished because I'm still have not recovered just yet. So I really want to be in good shape before I get the field started for tomorrow or Sunday. So yeah, that's all I have to say right now. So just to close this video, please just try to be patient. I guarantee you. Sorry, I am going to make this promise. I know I said I won't make a promise, but I will promise this. I cannot promise what day my video will be uploaded as a reminder, but I will promise it will be uploaded next week because, again, no school. So, anyways, now that I finally think I have closure for all the hard work I had to go through, I think if I can just finally just move on, get my work finished, and not have any more obstacles or distractions or whatever. And also, if you want to say anything or give me any kind of advice as what I should know in order for me to what to expect to be a movie reviewer, since this is all new to me, please give me some advices and tell me in the comment section down below. Also, as for social media, sorry, I will say this with every time, whenever I do a video on here every time. For my social medias, again, they're all in the links in the description down below. So please keep updated with me. Again, I won't be on Facebook to be updated with whatever, because I still need to get my stuff finished anyways. And I'm going to let you all go so I can just get rested and get eaten or whatever. Anyways, thank you for being patient, and I will always see you next week. And I cannot wait for everyone's reactions and what everyone thinks of it. So remember, please give me your thoughts and comments and requests for whatever movie I want to review in the future. I would really love to hear them. And I cannot wait to finally express everything that I want to do for so long. So again, I cannot appreciate more than I should by this point. Thank you so much for being patient. Peace.